Hi, I'm Elaine Marie, and today we're going to talk about our love imprint. What is our love imprint? Well, imprint, the imprint of love, is really a layer, if you will, like clouds over sunshine. A layer that is a barrier to love that is in front of our true divine being. So, this is a bit of an abstract spiritual concept, but it's a really important one to understand for holy relationship and the path of the beloved. So first we have to understand what we are to understand what our love imprint actually is. So we have to understand ourselves, at least until we can experience this as a reality. We have to understand it intellectually, and then as we go through our ascension process, we actually become this understanding. It becomes experiential, and it very much changes. But in the beginning, we can hear about this and we can understand it as a concept. So our divine being, our divine essence that we are, and we'll call this part of us, has two parts, a soul and a spirit part, layers we can call it. We have layers, we're multidimensional beings. Experiences itself in wholeness before it becomes embodied into a human experience. So when we're in our multidimensional selves, beings, we are whole beings constructed of love and constructed literally of light. When we speak of love and light, we're actually describing the materials that we're made of. We're not talking about an emotion or it's literally light is the construction of the universe of form is light, even though we can't see this spiritual light with our eyes. And the substance, the fabric, the force, the power behind that light is actually a force called love, which is not the kind of sentimental, emotional love that we think of when we say, I love this or I love that, or preference or something like that. It's a very different. Divine love is a force of nature, a force of life, the actual force of creation. So we are this. Before we ever come into an embodiment in a human form, in a form of realm like we do on earth here, or we are this pure essence of light and love. So what happens when we come into an embodiment, a human embodiment, especially as we have done it on this planet for the past, let's say it's been longer, but let's just talk about maybe the last 30,000 years, which we don't even have a recorded history of, but was very much present, and there was certainly more histories before that. But in the past 30,000 years especially, we were in a reality matrix that was very much based on duality as opposing opposites that could not be reconciled. So what happens is this wholeness that is us came into this alternate reality construct of forces opposing one another, and it forgot its wholeness and became fragmented. It became dual. The two became separated. There was the appearance of separation. So when we come in and we have this as a soul, the soul descends down into this arena of duality. It forgets itself, and it begins as it's born into this world, into a body and into form. It's immediately conditioned into this new reality matrix, telling it everything about reality that is a distortion of that wholeness, because that's actually been the fabric that we've been operating in. So this is the imprint, the love imprint, if you will. It's probably more accurate to call it the anti-love imprint of experience that comes into our bodies, into our nervous systems, into our emotional selves, into our mind and our belief systems, of all of these constructs of what love is not. Experiences of not divine love. And this covers over if you will, the purity and the innocence and the wholeness that we are in essence as a being, as a soul spirit body complex. So our love imprint is that conditioning of anti-love that gets placed on us lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of experiences of separation, of contrast, of disappointment, of heartbreak, of not having our needs met, of abandonment, of engulfment, someone coming in and taking over your being and hoarding your energy, all these different patterns of what love is not. And it's basically, these are all examples. We use the word love, but they were really experiences of control over us, or us controlling another, or the need to control another from a space of fear, because everything that we have been experiencing in these lower vibrations of duality has been at its foundation a thought or an emotion that is born of fear. Fear of loss, fear of not enoughness, fear of not being worthy, fear of not being seen, fear of being invisible, fear of having our energy taken over, and an engulfment fear. There's many different layers and lenses that these imprints got stuck onto us. So the process of healing our love imprint, or that anti-love layer, those barriers to love that got placed on us as a soul in our bodies in this lifetime and in many others, is the process of healing the love imprint. And it's literally, again, to use a visual that helps us understand, it's as if this sunshine, this perfect sun, is covered with all these dark clouds, and yet the sun is still shining. It hasn't changed. The essence of the sun is still the same. You just can't see the sun because it's covered up with all this darkness, all these clouds, this veil of what it is not. And so healing our love print is clearing away all the clouds, clearing away all the layers, all the barriers that we've built up over many lifetimes to the pure essence of love that we are. And it's not until we actually can start to come into contact with this pure whole essence of being that has always been there that we can really start to understand and conceptualize and experience and become this vibrational reality of divine love, instead of the lower ideas of love that we've experienced as distortions of love, distortions of control, distortions of fear for many, many eons. So this is just a simple introductory concept to a spiritual concept of the love imprint. And this is how we conceptualize the understanding of letting those clouds clear away so that we can become the grand sun being that we are, healing our love imprint.